Hello students, today we go for discussing the last topic under your unit 4, which is ANOVA, means analysis of variance. So strictly if I speak, the ANOVA is the extension of t-test. As you all know that the t-test actually applicable to compare two population means. Okay. So what is the null hypothesis going to be here? H naught mu1 is equal to mu2. Okay. But here the point to be observed, we are comparing only two populations. So within these two populations you are taking what you call the sample S1, sample S2, and we are calculating their means, and we are concluding whether these populations are having any significance difference or else both are equal. Such a way we concluded till now. But today we are going to discuss about the ANOVA. ANOVA specialty is that which is possible, which makes us convenient even to compare more than two populations. Understand? At once. That is most important. Because most of the times you cannot get all the information whatever you want just by comparing two populations. Sometimes you need to compare what you call three populations, four populations. Understand? So in all those situations, you cannot apply the t-test, because t-test is possible to compare only two populations. Such a way, if you go on comparing, it takes long time. So in order to fulfill that gap, in order to overcome that limitation, the father of the statistics, Professor R.A. Fisher, developed this wonderful technique, what you call this ANOVA, analysis of the variance. So by using this ANOVA, you can compare at a time more than two populations, three populations, four populations, five populations, whatever may be. That is the biggest advantage of what you call the ANOVA. So by expanding ANOVA, what you get here? Analysis of variance. Understand? Though here we are going to understand the equality of the two means, but exclusively we are performing the what to call the comparison of the variances. So that is the one more specialty of this technique. So we are comparing the variances based upon the variance information. Finally we are concluding whether what to call the means are equal or not. That's why what is happening under ANOVA, you are going to calculate what you call various types of the variances, which are what you call dependent type, independent type, and as well as random causes. So these random causes are also known as errors. So what are random causes or errors? The random causes or errors are those kinds of variation which cannot be under the control of the human hands. So 1 week before, anybody would thought that today is going to be heavily rained, but today what happened? Immediately we are all experiencing downpour in twin cities. What to call this? The thing which is not in our control. So nature always will have its own course of action. So whatever errors, whatever variation actually happens while performing what you call any kind of experiment which cannot be under the control of the human hand. What you call that? Random errors, erratic errors. Strictly in simple words you call that one as the errors. So through this analysis of variance, what you are going to understand, you are comparing what you call the dependent and independent variance and you are giving some estimate by separating what you call the random variation. So that is the actual quality of this technique. Understand? So in a single line, if you want to understand, the ANOVA is nothing but comparison of more than two population means. Okay? Now, if you consider the ANOVA, there are basically two types of methods are there. Two types of ANOVA techniques are there. One is called one-way classification and one more is called two-way classification. What is one-way classification? What is two-way classification? With only one source of variation. One source of variation. If the data has been created and if you want to understand one source of variation, you call that one as a one-way ANOVA. If you are comparing two sources of variations at a once, what do you call this? This technique is known as the two-way ANOVA. So in one-way ANOVA, only one source of variation will be there. Only one cause you are comparing. Whereas under the two-way ANOVA, you are comparing what you call two causes, two sources of variation at a time. Understand? The best example here, let us suppose that here the sales of a car. Understand? Let us take our India itself. Now, as you all know that the sales of the cars depends upon what? As you all know that as per few statistical information, the Indian consumers are the toughest consumers. Now, we are very much price conscious. So, generally we purchase those kinds of things which comes to us for a cheaper price. Understand? So, what is the source of variation for the sales of the cars? Understand? That might be the price. That might be the features. Understand? Nowadays you will be observing. So, there are extraordinary features have been, facilitated in every four-wheeler if you see nowadays. So, those facilities not only making comfortable driving to the driver, but even the what you call the passengers who are going to be traveling in that car going to experience. Like 360 degrees having the air condition and having video screens, automatic doors. Understand? There are so many facilities are there. What you call this as features. And one more very important thing whichever attracts the customer is nothing but the colors. This is most important. So most of the customers are going to purchase the vehicle sometimes based upon the colors also. Few trendy colors will be there. Understand? So price, features, colors, and one more thing, after sale service. This is a one more very important criteria. Most of the four-wheeler owners wanted to be owners, they look into the company. Understand? The Maruti company has got a number one position in India means because of this quality. Wherever you go throughout India, you find after sale services. Understand? So these are the various sources of variations, okay, which actually influences the sales of the cars. Understand? Now, if you take only price, so as you all know, if you see on Indian roads what kind of company cars are plying, like Maruti cars are there, like Mahindra cars are there, okay. Now Hyundai company cars are there, Kia Motors cars are there. Understand? And now you got what you called, let us suppose that for few months the sales are like this. In terms of units I am providing, okay. Now this is called actually a data. Now here you wanted to know ultimately whether what to call the price is going to have any influence on this company sales of the cars. That means the average sales of what to call the Mahindra company influenced by the price. What is that? Maruti company. The second one is Mahindra's company. The next Hyundai company, and as well as Kia Motors. Now here we are going to understand the price tag, or else what to call the price factor is influencing the sales of the cars. Now, just like our large sample, small sample tells, what is the hypothesis going to be here? H naught, which is nothing but what? Mu1 is equal to mu2 is equal to mu3 is equal to mu4. Because how many companies? Here I am comparing at a time 4 companies. So mu1 for Maruti cars, mu2 for Mahindra cars, now Hyundai, mu3 and mu4 for Kia company. Now this is called the null hypothesis for what to call, strictly speaking, one-way classification. Then what is the alternative hypothesis going to be? H1, mu1 is not equal to, mu2 is not equal to, mu3 is not equal to mu4. Now this is called the notation format. Then verbally, how do you define? All what to call mean sales or average sales of all these companies are equal based upon the price. Or else there is a variation in the sales of what to call the XYZ company cars, these company cars based upon the price. That means every information you are focusing only on the price, only one factor, one source of variation. This becomes what to call the one-way ANOVA. Getting my point? So to this price tag, let us suppose that you are comparing what to call the features also, F1, F2, F3. With AC feature, isn't it? Having the cars with AC feature of Mahindra company sales. What is that? Maruti company. Now same, the Mahindra company's car sales without a what to call the AC feature sales. Same a Hyundai company cars without of the AC feature. Now same way, let us suppose a good audio system is there, F2, feature 2. So how many sales of Maruti cars with a good audio system? With good audio system. With good audio system, how many Hyundai car sales? Understand? Let us take F3. Now the rooftop opening facility. Nowadays everybody of us preferring that. Generally whoever got children. So the top of the car opening would be there. Automatically you can open and you can close that. If such a facility provided, how much, what to call, how many sales are there? XYZ company cars. Now here what you are doing, you are comparing what you call the features with that of the prices for sales. So two things you are comparing. So this becomes what you call your two-way classification. Be careful. So in one-way classification, you have only one source of variation. What is that? The price information. But in the two-way classification, what you are doing, you are comparing the price with that of the features. Both the things are having any impact on the sales of the cars. Okay? So this is called the ANOVA technique. So ANOVA actually the extension of the t-test. In a single time you can compare, at a time you can compare more than two populations. Again, ANOVA is of two types. One is called one-way classification, one more is called the two-way classification. In one-way classification, only one source of variation under your observation. Under two-way classification, two sources of variation would be there. Side by side you will be comparing. And what is the procedure? Just like our large sample, small sample test. Here also we are going to first write down the null hypothesis. And again you are going to write the alternative hypothesis. And after that here I am going to give standard formula. So under one-way classification, 5 formulae would be there. Under two-way classification, 6 formulae would be there. And if you by heart those 5 and 6 formulae, remember that this is a gunshot question. Just calculate the values of those formulae and substitute a table. I am going to provide analysis of the variance table and you will get the answer. Understand? So very straightforward procedure I am providing. Carefully follow this procedure. You can easily learn this technique. Understand? So now we are going to exclusively discuss about the one-way classification. Okay? Now this is the theory part of the ANOVA of one-way classification. So just now I told you only one source of variation would be there. So remember that under one-way classification, what I tell you, always try to write the data in terms of columns. Sometimes in the problem they will give horizontal way from left to right. Convert that one into what called top to bottom. Then it becomes very easy. So this is the problem in terms of notations actually. So what is that? The Maruti company, Mahindra company, like various XYZ companies information. So what is that first value? Y11. That means the first row, first column. Now this becomes what you called the second one. Now here the second column. Now all of you look at here. This is all the column number. Now here if you see, okay, what is this? Y11. So this represents the column. This represents the element number. Understand? That means the first column, first element. Same way, Y12. What is this indicates? The first column, the second element. What I told you, because in the one-way classification from top to bottom we count. Same if you see here last Y1N1. So like that if you see here in these suffix values, the first element is common. So that element I am writing as it is. But the second element has been changing. So whatever changing, wherever change is there, to locate that what I am putting dot. Y1 dot, that indicates that the first column total. Now in the second column, so second column first element, second column second element. If you see, okay, the first number is 2, hence the 2 will be as it is, but all the second numbers have been changed. 2 dot, that means the second column total. Like general term I am writing, I what is that? Y dot. The last term I am writing yk dot. Understand? So what I am saying here, just I am taking the columns, totals. This is called the notation format, because in the formulae I am giving these notations. Unless you otherwise these notations information, getting the wanted value from the table going to become difficult. That's why understanding the table is very important. Now this all total, what you call y double dot. So many dots are there? 2 dots are there. Okay. Now as usual, what are the usual steps when you go for hypothesis testing? Null hypothesis. Now here also H0 mu1 is equal to mu2 is equal to mu3. Like that you can do that. Okay, if you want you can add up to mu k is equal to mu I is equal to mu k. Okay. Same. What is the alternate hypothesis going to be H0? So if all are equal means there is no significance difference. That means there is no significance difference between the mean yields of what you call various varieties. Understand? So for this, how do you write the alternate hypothesis? H1, okay, mu1 is not equal to mu2 is not equal to mu3. Such a way you can dot. So dot is equal to, if you extend mu I, dot is equal to If you extend, so like this also you can write is not equal to mu k. Then what is the statement is going to be? There is a significance difference. There is a significance difference. That is most important. There is a significance difference between what you called mean of the given value. So such a way you can write the alternative hypothesis. Now directly what I am providing the formula. These formula you need to by heart. Very simple if you understand the logic. Okay. So this is the one-way classification. How many formula you get? 5 formula. So all 5 formula I am providing now. So what is the first formula? Grand total. So what is a grand total? Totaling of all these elements. So the grand total denoted by G. What is that? Y double dot. So in the table here you get the total of row wise, column wise, whichever you take, you get Y double dot. The correction factor, this is most important. Correction factor, CF. How do you get? The grand total square by the number of elements. You get the correction factor. The third one, the total sum of squares. What is the total sum of squares? So in short, which is represented by TSS. TSS stands for total sum of squares. What is the standard notation I am using? Q. So how do you get each element square and take the sum? Y11 square plus Y12 square plus Y1n1 square plus dash dash, like that, by squaring each every term individual and taking the total minus correction factor. You get what you call the total sum of squares. The next one, very very important. What do you call this? The sum of squares for columns. That's what I told you. So whenever if data is in the horizontal way, especially in the one-way classification, put in the what you call top to bottom kind of data, vertical way, because of this factor. So sum of squares for columns. So these are all columns. Each column square plus square plus square plus divided by the number of elements. All the total, like that, for this entire column total minus CF, correction factor. So what do you call this? SSC. SSC stands for sum of squares for columns. The final one is error sum of squares. How do you get error sum of squares? Here no need of calculation. Already Q value you know, Q1 you know. So Q minus Q1 gives you what you called error sum of squares. That you are going to call it as Q2. Okay. So you need to by heart this formula. Once you understand the table and accordingly you try to practice this 5 formula, that's all. The ANOVA one-way classification will be in your pocket. So again in two-way classification you are going to add a one more value, that's all, one more formula. 6 formula would be there. So after understanding all these things, the very very important thing now you have to understand is the table format of the ANOVA. So this is the special technique, especially purposeful in the ANOVA. So after getting all the totals, we are creating a table format like this. What to call this? ANOVA table. So these columns are very very important. What is that first one? Source of variation. SV stands for source of variation. So what do you mean by that? All the classes, A1, A2, A3, all these are all classes. So how many classes are there? K minus 1. So how to get the error? The next one. So to get the error, what is required? Total. So let us suppose that n information values are there. So n minus 1, you get the degrees of freedom. So from n, if you subtract k value, you get errors degrees of freedom. You know what even a degrees of freedom. Next is sum of squares. So all the information whatever you got from the formula. So first Q1. next q, okay, next q, but here I am putting a star. That star indicates that you are getting this q2 by subtraction. Okay. Now mean sum of squares. Mean means average. That means q1 by this previous value, k minus 1. What you call m1? Now next q2 by this previous value, n minus k. What you call sigma square. Then how do you get the calculated table value? The table value you are going to get by means of ratio. By means of ratio. What is that? Mu1 by sigma square. This is called the calculated value. The distribution what you are using is F distribution. That's why you are denoting here FC. C stands for calculated value. This FC value we check with the table value of what we call F distribution. So what are the degrees of freedom at k minus 1 and n minus k? Again, what is the decision making? As usual. So if FC less than or equal to FT table value, what is the decision making? We accept H0. If FC is greater than FT, so what is the decision making we are going to consider? We are going to reject the null hypothesis. Okay. So this is called the one-way classification. So under one-way classification, only one source of variation would be there. Usually in terms of columns we represent. So this is the null hypothesis. If you want, you can write the alternative hypothesis. So these are the formulae and this is the ANOVA table. You fill up the ANOVA table, look into the table value, you will get the answer. Understand? Very, very simple thing. I request you follow this method, straightforward method. Okay. Now we go for one model problem for one-way classification. Yeah, check this problem. What is this? The following data relates to the lives in hours of 4 different batches of electric bulbs. Test whether there is any significant difference between the 4 batches. Now, whenever a problem is given to you, first thing is you need to identify whether the problem is of one-way classification or two-way classification. Understand? And now here what is the question says you, is there any significance difference between the lives of 4 different batches of electric bulbs? Only he is actually seeking explanation for one source of variation. That means 4 batches are there. Let us suppose that the batch 1 is of January month, batch 2 of February, March, April. So in all these 4 batches, all the bulbs whatever manufactured giving same length of longevity, or else is there any variation? You need to identify. Okay. So for that one, what you can apply here, you can apply one-way classification ANOVA. Now what is the null hypothesis going to be? H0, mu1 is equal to, mu2 is equal to, mu3 is equal to mu4. So what do you mean by that? There is no significance difference between the average lives in hours of 4 different batches of electric bulbs. That is going to be the null hypothesis. Then what is the alternative hypothesis? Mu1 is not equal to, mu2 is not equal to, mu3 is not equal to mu4. So what you can say, there is a significance difference between the 4 batches of electric bulbs in terms of their average lives is concerned. Understand? So as usual, next what we do, we apply all those formulae and we substitute in that special table. Okay, and finally we are going to prove whether the null hypothesis is correct or alternative hypothesis. So let us see now. So what is that? we can carry out one-way classification ANOVA because only one source of variation information is asking. Now again, one more important observation to identify one-way classification or not. The data numbers may not be an equal number. Now see the first data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again here more, again here less. Like that, uneven number of values would be there. That also one of the indicator whether that is comes under one-way classification or not. Okay. Now what is the null hypothesis? H naught. There is no significance difference between the 4 batches of electric bulbs. So if you want, you can write in terms of notations. What is that? H naught. Mu 1 is equal to mu 2 is equal to mu 3 is equal to mu 4 because 4 batches are there. Same, what is the null hypothesis? There is no significance difference between the 4 batches of electric bulbs in terms of average life length is concerned, or else simply the lives are concerned. The next one is alternative hypothesis. So what is the alternative hypothesis? H1 symbolically mu 1 is not equal to mu 2 is not equal to mu 3 is not equal to mu 4. So verbally how to write? There is a significance difference between the 4 batches of electric bulbs. That's all. Now we go for calculations. This is most important part. So whatever data is given. So here if you see the data is in terms of horizontal way from left to right. So what I suggest to you, when you are going to apply one-way classification, write down the data from top to bottom because totaling becomes easier. Or else confusion will arise. Okay. Now what I did here, just I tilted the data, that's it. Everything as it is I am writing. So what is that? Batches 1, 2, 3, 4. The lives in hours become what you call the row information. So all batches 1600, everything I wrote from top to bottom like 4 batches. Now I am taking the total. So by adding all these values, how much you get? 11760. What is the first column? Y1 dot. Check into our notation table. Now again this total 8310. What to call this? Y2 dot. The third column 13090. What to call this? Y3 dot. Same way fourth column Y4 dot. What is the total? 9410. So we got all the totals. Now we go for the next very important first formula, calculation of the grand total. Calculation of the grand total. So how do you denote that? G, capital G. Okay. So grand total. So capital G. How to get? The notation is 5 double dot. You just all these what you call the column totals, that's it. Or else individually also you can add. So what is that? 11760 plus 8310 plus 13090 plus 9410. So how much you are getting? Grand total G is equal to Y double dot 42570. Now immediately what is the next formula? Correction factor. So what is the formula for correction factor? G square by N, where N is nothing but the number of values, the number of observations are given in the table. So you count all these things. How many values are there? 26 values are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. If you count, how many values are there? 26 values are there. So 42570 square by 26. And you are going to get 697001886. So be careful while taking the square. I am taking the square only for G. So that's why above I put the bracket. The next one is Q. How do you get the Q? This is a very important calculation. So total sum of squares. Q is equal to double sigma Yij square minus Cf. Okay. What do you mean by this? Each and every number every element whatever is given, that you need to square and you need to add. So here what is that? 1600 square plus 1610 square plus like that 1800 square plus next 1580 square plus 1640 square plus like that last value what is that? 1680 square. That means all 26 values individually you need to square and you need to take the total. It's a big calculation. You have to be very, very careful while using calculator. Concentration is very, very important. Only problem with the NOI is big calculations would be there. But anyhow you are not using your brain. Most of the times you use calculator. Little bit more focus is required, that's it. So individually all 26 values have been squared and added. So that becomes a double sigma Yij square. Why this double sigma means? 1 sigma represents rows, 1 sigma represents columns. Understand? So how do you remember? So individual value square plus their sum minus the CF value whatever you got. So 69700018856. Okay. So what is the answer we are going to get? 195712. So total sum of squares. How do you get? Every value of the data should be squared and added. Squared and added like that. A big calculation. Okay. The remaining are simple calculation.